Speaking of rotational symmetry, now we're going to look at rotations. Okay, now this first question here asks you to rotate the following shapes 90 degrees clockwise. Clockwise, of course, goes in this direction, and 90 degrees will move it from, if we can look at these all as quadrants, 90 degrees moves it from the first quadrant into the second quadrant if we're rotating clockwise. Okay, that's 90 degrees. 180 degrees would rotate it into the next quadrant, and then 270 degrees would rotate it into the third, and 360 would put it back in the same spot. So when it asks for 90 degrees, we're just moving it one quadrant. So for this first one, just here, if we need to rotate the shape about O, 90 degrees, it ends up shifting down to here. And this next one shifts next quadrant, and so on, and so on. And I apologize for the photocopy of this, it's a bit tricky. So now I'm looking at this one in the middle here, okay? And you're probably going to have to rotate each piece of these by 90 degrees. So you see where this vertical line is here? We can rotate that one 90 degrees. And then the vertical gets rotated by 90 degrees. The straight line of two boxes, straight line of two boxes, and you see I'm just following along, straight line of two boxes, straight line of two boxes. I'm going to step it down one, step it out again, and it's kind of hard to tell, but it connects something like that. Okay, I'm going to try one more of these because they're so hard to draw on here and to see. Actually, I'm going to try this one. So again, 90 degrees clockwise, it's going to be sitting up like this. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll step it up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes across 3, 1, 2, 3, down 2, and connects back to the start. Okay, so now let's go have a look at number 2. Color in the shapes below that would appear the same after being rotated 90 degrees in a clockwise direction about O. All right, 90 degrees is going to turn this one in this direction. And this one rotated 90 degrees is going to stand straight up like this. Okay, so that one is definitely not. However, this one, if we rotate it 90 degrees, one quadrant, this one will definitely look the same. And if this one gets turned 90 degrees, this point will then be here, so that one will also look the same. This point will end up over here, so that one's not the same. This point will end up, this one's a bit tricky. 180 wouldn't look the same. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So this actually has to be turned 1/5 of a circle in order to be the same, which is 72 degrees. So this one would not be the same. Okay, now if we rotate this one to the next quadrant, it won't be the same either. Okay, so let's have a look. For all the shapes in question 2 that are not colored in, write under them the minimum clockwise rotation needed for them to appear the same. Okay, so let me just rub these ones out. If I can find my eraser. Okay. It's not letting me. That's all right. Okay, so for this one, where's our first one? This one here. In order for this one to be the same, it has to be rotated 180 degrees. For this one to be the same, it has to be rotated all the way around, which is 360 degrees. As I showed before, that has to be 1/5 of a circle to be the same. That's 72 degrees. And this one has to be 1/3 of a circle, because there's 3 symmetric points. So 1/3 of the circle is 120 degrees. Okay? So number 4 says, use the grid lines in the diagram below and to redraw the shaded shape after it is rotated 30 degrees about the center of the circle. Continue rotating and redrawing the shape until the pattern is complete. Creatively color it in. Okay, I won't be able to do this so well on mine, but I'd like to show you how to work out where exactly is 30 degrees. Okay, now we know that one quadrant, like we were talking about, is 90 degrees. And if we broke that into thirds, 90 divided by 3 is 30. So every 2 chunks is 30 degrees. Okay? So we'll be drawing, looking at where the tip is, we'll be drawing the tip here. So it goes up like this, around and down. And then the next tip will be here, around and down. The next tip will be here, around and down, and so on and so on. Okay, so it should create quite a neat pattern. And in the end, you'll have something that looks like that. Okay, yeah, show me what it looks like. I'd love to see it.